What's up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I am here today, you guys, with a review for The Real Housewives of Miami. This is season 7. I think this is episode 3, you guys. This episode was titled Worst Wedding Ever. Now, before we go ahead and get into it, if you guys are watching this or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, you guys, and also by turning on your post notifications. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let us go ahead and discuss the Real Housewives of Miami, shall we? All right, you guys. Now I still don't know. Well, I know the panel is supposed to be on y'all's channel, but I don't have the link and stuff yet. But once I do have all that stuff available, I definitely will get provided to you guys. But yeah, if you guys watch this episode of The Real Housewives of Miami, let me know what you guys thought about it down in the comments section below. And let's go ahead and get into this episode. Overall, the episode was good to me. Now, some people lost me in this episode, i.e., Julia, because baby, Julia lost me with this episode. Julia absolutely 100% lost me and never found me again. So, what we'll do is we'll save that stuff for last since that's dealing with Alexia. I guess the first person we'll start up with is going to be Lisa. So it's not really much with Lisa in this week's episode, besides the fact that Lisa's father, he ultimately ended up passing away. So prayers up to Lisa and prayers up to Lisa's family. Yikes. Like I can't imagine, I know that's hard losing a loved one. I've never lost somebody that I wasn't close to or I was just trying to rebuild a relationship with. So I don't necessarily know what Lisa is going through. But in this particular episode, Lisa, we see her as she's in Canada and she's getting ready for her father's funeral. And also, I will tell you guys, I hope you guys don't hear the background noise because there's some kids at the pool and they're very loud. But so Lisa is, like I said, she's in Canada getting ready for her father's funeral. And Lisa is beating herself up, right? She's beating herself up about the timing when she, reconnected with her father. Now, what I will say is, I don't think that Lisa should beat herself up about that because everything happens the way that they're supposed to, not necessarily her father passing, but, we come to different, I think she probably came to a realization that maybe she needed to sit down and talk to him and have a conversation with him. But, like I said, I don't think that she should beat herself up. She said the man was an alcoholic. Sometimes you got to do what's best for you. And if that means getting out of toxic environments with toxic people, and even if those people happen to be family, you got to do what's best for you. So I don't necessarily want to sit here and say anything that Lisa did because I don't think Lisa did anything wrong. Protecting your peace is the most one of the most important things that I feel you can do. So yeah, but again, like I said, prayers up to Lisa, for her loss, and may God, continue to keep her family, and may her father rest in eternal peace. And that's really all that I got for Lisa. If you guys want to add anything to Lisa, feel free to get down in the comment section or in the live and let me know what your thoughts and your opinions are about Lisa. And we can go ahead on and move to the next person, you guys. All right, you guys. So honestly, what I want to say is I'm gonna put the cast photo back up and I want to talk about Kiki real quick because we had a scene with Kiki in this episode. And I actually like seeing Kiki with her mom and her daughter Summer when they went to the ice cream museum, right? Her daughter is in love with chocolate, I see. And I don't blame you, baby girl. I love chocolate as well. The thing that kind of threw me for a loop with Kiki's scene was her dad. It was this, so her, and one thing about I was looking at Kiki and I was looking at Kiki's mama. Though they are the spitting image of one another, like that is, they are each other's twin, right? But the thing that kind of threw me for a loop, and I feel like this is something that is said in and especially in the black community, right? When it comes to your parents, because Kiki's dad was not a part of Kiki. He, I guess he walked out on she and her mom when she was younger, and the mom was none the wiser. And so her mom was having a conversation with her about her father and talking to Kiki and basically telling Kiki that that's still your dad, and you know and I'm paraphrasing what she was saying, like that's your dad, you got to respect him and all that kind of stuff. And y'all know I'm a southern boy, so I've heard that kind of stuff my entire life when it comes to family, like that's such and such, you got to respect them. And even as a kid, I vehemently disagree with that, and as a grown ass adult, I still vehemently disagree with that. Like I don't go along with that philosophy that just because you are my parent, like you're my mom, you my dad, that just because you have that familial tie to me, that I owe you some kind of loyalty. Like I don't go along with that thought process and that thinking, that mentality. Now there are some people who may go along with it. But as I said, for me, JB, I don't go along with it. Now, could Kiki have a conversation with her father? Yes. But I just don't 100% agree with what her mom was saying to her. But I definitely want to know what you guys think and what you guys feel in the comment section. Because, like I said, for me personally, if if you didn't put forth the effort with me, then why should I feel anything of loyalty, respect? Why should I feel any of that with you? Is my whole thought process. But again, I want you guys to tell me what you think and what you feel, and we can go ahead and move on to the next person, you guys. So next up, I'll put Gertie on the screen. So we get Gertie. So we see Gertie. So Gertie is meeting up with Kiki, right? And with Kiki, she and Gertie are at the stretch lab. So they got caught up and whatnot. And Kiki was letting Gertie know, hey, about a day or two ago, we had dinner with Alexia, and Alexia invited everyone with the exception of you and Adriana, which it didn't seem that Gertie was shocked by it at all. And so we also found out from Gertie that Alexia has been one of the ones who's been, really there for her, reaching out to her. And I was like, that's interesting. That you reach out to her and check on her, but then you ice her out when it comes to this whole dinner. So Kiki then had a conversation with Gertie about this whole thing with Julia. And so that'll come up later because in this particular scene with Gertie, here's my issue when it comes to Gertie. My issue with Gertie is always that I don't feel, even to defend Larsa, who I don't really like defending, but even kind of to defend Larsa last season when she was telling Larsa about her cancer, even though Larsa was being a bitch, I still feel like Gertie doesn't let people get a word in edgewise. And in this particular scene with Kiki, she was not letting Kiki get a word in edgewise because Kiki was trying to say something to her and Gertie just kept over talking her. That's one of my issues with Gertie. She overtalks people, and I also feel that Gertie is passive aggressive. That's my opinion. You guys may disagree with me about that, and if you do, it is totally fine if you guys disagree with me. And I don't want nobody to take that as I'm saying that I don't like Gertie. I love Gertie, right? I just have issues when it comes to Gertie over talking people and when Gertie being passive aggressive. That is it for that scene. So we'll go ahead and move on to the next scene, which is with Julia. So we see Julia. Julia is meeting up with Adriana. And this is the part of the episode where I started to, but I've been side eyeing Julia for a minute. But this episode, it really made me have a proverbial side eye for Julia. And here's why I say I have a proverbial side eye for Julia. So Julia and Adriana, they sat down for lunch, right? And both Adriana and Julia are saying that neither one reached out to the other over the summer. And what I will say to both of them is the phone works both ways. As well as you can send a text message, you can get a text message. As well as you can make a phone call, you can get a phone call as well. So the phone works both ways, right? But then we also found out from Adriana that Alexia saw Gertie, not Gertie's, but Julia's boys, and Adriana hasn't even saw him. And I was like, that's so weird. Like, this is supposed to be your best friend, and your best friend hasn't met your kids yet, your new children, your two new kids that you are adopting. Like, I would feel, and I'm starting to understand why Adriana feels how they fell out. It's like you got in cool with the mean girls, and so now you ice out two people who have been in your corner for you. Like, you become friends with the drunk and the Cuban dummy doll. Like, whatever. So Adriana says, and also Adriana said, like, you didn't even tell, like, I was the one that was with you with this whole journey, and you could have told me privately about you adopting these boys before you told the group, right? And so then Adriana told Julia about the dinner that she had with Lisa and with Gertie, and how Gertie feels about Julia. But Julia says that, Julia feels that Gertie is making everything about herself. Now, I don't know if I agree with that. I do not know if I agree with that coming from Julia, because, like I said, like we said in the panel last week, Gertie has receipts. And I won't be surprised if Gertie comes out with some receipts after this episode aired, because I haven't been on Gertie's Instagram to know what's what with Gertie. But baby Julie, you showed your entire ass at this party that Alexia threw. Now let's go ahead and wrap it up, you guys, with Alexia. So this episode, it consists around Steve and Marisol's wedding, right? So we saw Steve and Marisol getting ready for their wedding. Marisol, I actually understand why Marisol is making it legal now with her and Steve, because I mean, they're not getting any younger, number one. And number two, if something unforeseen were to happen to either one of them, they want to be able to make the decisions for the other person. And like I said, completely understand it. Even though I'm not a big Marisol fan, I'm championing it and I'm here for it, right? Let me know what you guys think about it. So then we see Alexia. So Alexia is going to be throwing a surprise party, a surprise wedding party for Marisol and Steve, right? So we see as she and Frankie, they're out celebrating, out planning for it, right? And the woman that she was meeting with, she asked Alexia, like, how are she and Todd, right? So Alexia once again breaks down about Todd. I was like, oh my God, Alexia. I may not be an Alexia fan, but the more that you talk about this man, it's like you are really making yourself look so dumb behind this man. And I just, for the life of me, I don't understand it. I don't get it. Girl, if you don't stand up Stand up, Alexia. Please and thank you. Because you are making yourself look so stupid behind this man. I wouldn't let him hold the card. Like you are literally you have every card in his hand and he ain't trying to do shit with it because he's playing a game with you. But if Alexia likes it, then I love it, right? So they were talking about, so she's told all the girls about it. She said that she's reached out to Lisa, but Lisa doesn't answer the phone when the girls call, right? So she calls Lisa up, and that's when we found out that Lisa's father had passed away. And so then we move over to this damn wedding party. Wow, I don't even know where to start at. So before we start, we see as everybody shows up, right? I think Alexia had on some earrings that Todd bought her, and her face just looked so sad. I was like, my God, Alexia, again, stand up. I just I want better for Alexia. I really truly, but Alexia has to want better for Alexia. That's really the true thing is Alexia has to want better for Alexia. And if she don't, then it ain't much I can say for her, right? But if like I'm wondering when it comes to Alexia, like, is the dick that good? It can't be, but if it is, then have at it, girlfriend. So we see as Julia and Gertie got there, right? So Julia and Gertie, they both hug each other. And I was like, that is so fucking weird. Like, why would y'all hug each other? Y'all don't even see each other right now. So I was entirely confused why they did that. Like, I think that was the fakest thing that I saw. Like, extremely fake. So what I will say is Gertie is fake. Not Gertie is fake. Julie is fake. But Gertie, you're passive aggressive. You're passive aggressive as hell. I will say that. So Marisol came in with this eye patch on because Marisol has a sty. Ooh, Marisol, I understand what you're going through because y'all remember earlier when we were doing the Beverly Hills panel, I came on the panel with a sty. Oh my God, right? So we get into the whole situation of it all, right? Also, I will say, Marisol, I honestly don't believe that Adriana gives one iota of a fuck that she wasn't invited to this wedding. But hey, you're happy that Adriana is there, not there, and I'm pretty sure Adriana is happy that Adriana is not there. So after that, the girls talked about what happened in Milan with Larsa and with Lisa, right? So, Larsa says that Lisa said that, she told her she would unfollow Marcus on social media. They were able to iron things out and work things out until the last night that they were there because Jody got upset and, he don't want Lisa and Larsa to talk to each other anymore. So then Larsa says that she feels like Jody is using Lisa for access and for money. And she says he also is on her business calls. And they did show a clip when they were in Milan where he was talking about one of Lisa's business calls. Now, Lisa, girl, keep that man out your business. That's all I will say is keep that man out of your business. So then Larsa showed them that picture of what's his name? Jody. Jody, that picture still don't look good, buddy. Yeah, your pupils are dilated looking. So they talked about the picture, and then they talked about the picture. And so after that, we move on. And this is where things got a little weird for me. I don't know if Julia was drunk as hell or what, but Julia is up here hyping up Marisol and Steve. And I was like, ma'am, you ain't even been cool with Marisol that long for you to be whooping it up, wanting these two to kiss and all this kind of stuff. Like it was really weird, Julia. Gotta be honest with you. The shit was weird as hell. My personal opinion, if you guys agree, Cool. If you disagree, cool as well, right? Now, while Julia is up here hyping up Steve and Marisol, I don't remember who it was that suggested that Gertie and Julia talk, right? And so I don't know why anybody suggested that. Seeing the way that Julia is, I'm like, if y'all don't realize maybe she might be drunk, and so maybe things are gonna go straight to hell, which they did. But I was like, okay, whatever. So then Gertie is telling they finally sit down, right? But at this point, she's escalated. Julia, that is, right? Because Julia is trying to paint it that she didn't invite Gertie on this cruise. Gertie says she invited her on the cruise, right? Then, she's talking, Julia saying that Martina had a health scare and that Gertie never asked her about Martina. And so they just going over each other, right? They're talking over each other. And Julia at this point is doing the absolute most, in my personal opinion, right? And it got so bad to the point where that woman had a glass of water and she was just throwing the water all over Gertie. And I was like, oh my God, ma'am, if you don't calm your ass down. I was so confused by it. I was really confused. And the way that Julia was acting, I'm more inclined to believe Gertie's side of events. I'm more inclined to believe Gertie's side of what happened. But that was really the episode. I don't think if I left anything out, feel free to leave it down in the comment section below, you guys, and subscribe to the channel. And until the next time, you guys, do me a solid favor. Stay safe out there, you guys. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Be blessed. And I'll catch you guys in the next video, you guys. So I am going to hop off of here and I'll see you guys later. Bye, y'all.